so excited.
It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
12:02 on a game day. What's going on? Thank you very much for joining us on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at edmontonsportstalk.com or watching over on YouTube today, feel free to chime in. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And, of course, over in the Nasty Chat where Dave was first today, you can chime in on the game tonight as well. The Edmonton Oilers moving things around with the line combinations. Darnell Nurse. Can I tell my funny joke I said earlier?
Please do.
Darnell Nurse is playing right. Usually he plays wrong. Really fun. Cracked up everybody at the office here. Anyway, Two Guys and a Goalie brought to you by GS Construction, setting the industry standard for 50 years with quality, efficiency, safety, driving their success. GS Construction has a foundation built on teamwork, and now they want you to become a part of the team. Visit www.gsconstruction.ca, click Ready to Work, or visit their page at Indeed.ca. And with the Next Up Person program at GS Construction, it's not just a job, it can be a long and illustrious career with the Sandman over at GS Construction. Gager, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I can't wait. It's Checo Perez's home race. I'm getting ready for it.
This does have a pit stop pals vibe. It really does. You're in full control now of the simulation league, the fantasy league?
I've basically wrapped up the championship. Like something drastic has to happen for me to lose that. 4 points back in the constructors now on Cass.
Okay.
So it's we're looking at.
You're gonna get him.
I probably reel him in.
Let's be honest. He's Red Bull early in the season.
Yeah,
and you're McLaren.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what's happening here.
That's what's happened.
Okay, well that's good news. Congratulations, Gager.
Thank you. Well, I won't. Don't count the chickens before they're hatched, Dusty. You know what that means? Because did you have chickens on the farm?
No, I hate chickens. So we didn't have chickens on our farm. But a quick story. I think in the summer of grade 7. My mom and dad were like, you need to get a job for part of the summer. So I got a job just at somebody else's farm, and I'd go and work. I can't remember if it was Saturday and Sunday. It might have been Saturday and Sunday. Anyway, and I was only like 12, 13 maybe.
God.
And like I would mow the lawn. The lady made me great sandwiches for lunch. She's a real nice older lady. But there was some stuff I didn't like doing. And I would rather be home playing video games or something. Of course. So anyway, I worked on this farm from like, I think it was 8 or 9 in the morning to like 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Wow.
And I think this is where my hatred and, like, to be honest with you, fear of birds probably comes from. Because like the very first or second job, I mowed the lawn, and then she's like, next week we're going to clean out the chicken coop. And I was like, okay. Oh. And they had a chicken coop, and the chicken, for lack of a better term here, earmuffs kids, the chicken shit was like this deep. And I had to chase all the chickens out of put them outside. And then I had to have a mask on, like it's a bloody pandemic. And I dug it. Like I thought I did a good job. I cleaned a lot of it up. And she comes out and looks, and she goes, like she wanted it like a new room. Oh. So I had to scrape off everything and then like bloody varnish the floor. And then I hate chickens. I hate chickens.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to be near a chicken coop again in my entire life. And I think that's the reason I hate birds. It's because of something that happened to me when I was 12 or 13 years old.
Me too, man. The only good chicken to me is a fried chicken.
Yes.
That's about it.
Fried chicken. If we had to do chicken rankings, I might still have chicken cordon bleu at the top of my list.
Oh, yeah?
I'm a big chicken cordon bleu guy.
No way.
No, that's probably because of the ham and the cheese and everything on it. Maybe chicken wing would be, I don't know. Chicken tender.
The cordon bleu, that was my go-to for dates. back in the day. When I
Really?
was single. I'd invite the.
You'd make that, or would you go out and get
I
it?
would make
Okay.
it for my
Yeah.
for my date.
It's not that hard to make, is it? But it's
No. You
it
can make
reeks
it
of
look
high end.
I know it's. I mean, it's fry. You pound out some chicken breasts.
Yeah.
You put a slice of Emmenthal or Swiss in there with some fancy.
Emmenthal is that type of cheese?
Yeah, that's.
I've never even heard of that cheese.
Just it's Swiss. You try the
Oh,
Gruyere.
when I go over to Switzerland, I will.
And some nice Black Forest ham shaved in there, and then just made a sandwich, fried it up,
nice.
and put it on a kind of a. I made a cream sauce with peas on.
Of course. What?
Yeah.
When you were dating?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
They say the way to a man's heart's through their stomach, but it's also for women too.
It impresses them.
It really impresses them, especially when that's when I had money too. So I would splurge with a fancy
High-end chickens.
Well, the wine was what.
Okay.
It was
Fancy bottle of wine.
Yeah, I'd get like a Camus or some Duckwood Cellars crap.
I'm so lucky that Tammy is who she is because one of our most memorable meals we had together when we were dating was when I was living in somebody else's house in Fort McMurray and they weren't home that day.
Oh, really?
So I made her craft dinner and then we ate. I had this room in their house that had 5 stairs and then the bed was up on a little bit of a loft and we didn't have I didn't have tables in there or anything. So we sat on the stairs with our bowls on the stairs eating.
Perfect.
And then 2 months later, I was like, will you marry me? And she's like, yes. I was just like, wow, this is pretty impressive.
Actually, you know how women say they have a special dish that's a marriage chicken, I think, or whatever. There's
a marriage chicken.
Yes, or engagement chicken.
Okay.
That's what.
That still doesn't make any sense.
Whatever. I kind of had that dish. It was a Dijon pork loin that I used to make all the time, and it was so good when my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, we were in Scotland when I was dominating. I've said this before.
The MVP.
MVP. It was so good that she would go to the store because she didn't know how to make it, but knew the ingredients and came and handed it to me. Can you make that again? Yeah.
Wow, good for you, Gager.
Yeah. Sealed it.
That's pretty impressive. Okay, a couple. You can hit us up over in the nasty chat. Hammer the thumbs up for us if you're watching over there, and of course you can text us 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We will get into that. Brett B asks over in the chat, if you're listening to the show this morning, this is who had it worse, Dusty at 12 dealing with the chickens, or YouTube Trev in 2012 at the age of 14, thinking the world was going to end.
That was
How funny was that this morning?
And he was actually you could see it in his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
The revisiting the whole year. And
it was terror.
There's a movie in there I think you could write.
Well, they did do a 2012 movie.
Yeah.
It was awful.
It was pretty bad.
And that came out before 2012, right? It
Yeah,
was come out in
was
2007, 2008.
Isn't that funny, all those movies that you watch where the world's ending and it's next month.
Yeah.
Now, because they said in 2025.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Did you watch the one, was it Don't Look Up?
Yes.
That's a good movie.
That's a great movie.
It's a really good movie
Yeah.
on society nowadays.
Yeah.
With spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen Don't Look Up,
It's a must watch.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
and it's a talented cast. Leo and
Yeah.
Meryl Streep and
It's
a great cast. But when they had the plan to blow it out of the sky, but they stop it because they found out there's minerals on it.
Yeah.
And they want to try to mine it. It's just my God, you people are awful.
I like when Leo first goes into the Oval Office and the son, Jonah Hill's the
Jonah
son.
Hill's in there's the son.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And they're looking at their phones the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And
Not even paying attention.
don't
They're
even care.
the world is
Yeah.
going to end. They really, Trev should not watch that movie.
No.
He should definitely not watch that movie. All right, Cass is not with us today. He's actually down at the rink doing some work stuff. But I think Tommy and Reed are down at the rink too. So we got you fully covered here the rest of the day on Edmonton Sports Talk. We'll get to the line combinations. If you have any questions, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Quick question from Coach Mike. Guys, fantasy hockey question here for two guys and a goalie today. Would I dress Sebastian Aho or Zach Hyman this week? Does Hyman get off the schneid finally this week? I bet him to score a goal tonight. Pointless
Did
in
you?
6. Pointless in 6 here. At some point, this guy's going to score a goal, isn't he?
I mean, when did I say the Oilers were going to win? Anyway, I think they're going to be in tough tonight, Dusty.
You think so?
Well, the Hurricanes, I think, was Svechnikov. I don't think he played last year in Edmonton. And
He's been an Oilers killer, hasn't he?
Yeah, but when he's
healthy.
And if memory serves correctly, last year when the Canes came in here, the Oilers destroyed them to the point where Pierre Maguire went on the bench and had that epic kind of question to Rod Brendamore, and Brendamore said, if this keeps going the same way, they're going to score 100 goals. So, and this is looking at the lineup, there's a lot of the same players, right? So and I'm sure Rod Brendamore has brought up, look, this is what happened to us last year. This can't happen again. And they're 4 games, 2-2, okay start, nothing major, but aside from last year, they've played the Oilers quite tough here anyways. So, and they're a balanced lineup. If I were to pick, I would say I would have gone with Aho instead of Hyman.
In fantasy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that probably would have been the play as well. All right, so we do have tickets to this game that we are going to give away. Shanzi fired these over to me last night. I was going to give them away on the morning show today, but they had ended up coming into like my spam folder on my email. I didn't see them until after the fact. So the good news is that you're going to get them here on 2 Guys and a Goalie today, which is nice. So we do have tickets to give away. We'll give you the details on that. They're courtesy of Max Lawn Service. So we'll get into that. Remind me before 1 o'clock to give away those tickets. I know we're going to get into the Oilers conversation here right now. Here's what we're looking at for a lineup tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Well, first of all, Gage, before we get to that, they go on the road trip. They win one, they lose one. Overall, what do you think of their play away from home?
Good until the last half bit of the Dallas game, and it was okay. Attention to detail, against the really good teams like Dallas. And I would say, do you think the Hurricanes have taken a step back?
Well, I don't know yet, right? I want to see this.
Yeah, I know, because they're
the last few years, Carolina rolling in, we would have viewed it as a stiff test.
Very stiff test, and I still consider them a playoff team. Are they a Stanley Cup contender? Aside from the last few years, I don't know. I like the way their game ended, and if they went over the video, it's a slim margin, and each goal, if you look at them, it all resulted in 2 guys going to 1 guy. And that's you can fix that. But saying that, we'll get into the lineup combinations, but there's been a lot of jumping around here. And so
too much?
Well, I thought that you'd want just a little bit more chemistry to grow with, especially with your D partners. So I didn't mind the D. The Kulak-Emberson got hemmed in a few times, but I just don't get it. I don't. I thought they would at least start the game the way that the Dallas game ended, just for that fact where it would be like, you played okay, you lost, but we're changing it up. I thought you might install a little bit more confidence from the coaching staff to the player, in this scenario, just being it so earlier on in the season.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I always have a hard time because when they lose a few games, us members of the media are guilty. Fans are guilty. It's always like, blow it, you gotta move these lines. Why is he not doing this? Why is he not doing that? And then he does it consistently throughout the first 6 games. And you're like, okay, there's too much. There's too much moving around. But I mean, they win 2 games in a row. Then they play very well for 40 minutes against Dallas and shoot themselves in the foot a couple of times. And then they blow things up with the lines. And it's just, I don't know. It doesn't. It's this one confused. I think I'll just say it confused. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it confuses me a little bit. And we'll give you the line combinations here. But I don't know. I just kind of like what you said. I don't think it needed to be significant changes after the Dallas game.
It might be, and I've never been a coach, but I know I've seen the coaches go into the coach's room, and this might be one of the cases where they're just getting in their own way here, right? Like they keep moving. Someone mentions something, they come back to it. So they're almost talking about it too much. There should be a time limit of how much you're going to discuss the game, and then just shut it down.
Move on from
Move on and do something else, right? So, and maybe this is one of those cases where they're thinking too much and because that'll hurt you too. How many times do you tell hockey players, you're thinking too much? You know, just go play. And I think that's where, even if you do that, the Oilers will be a really good team. Attention to detail and stuff. But if they just go play, there's a really good chance they're going to come away with 2 points.
Here's what we're looking at for a lineup tonight from the Edmonton Oilers. It starts with McDavid and Draisaitl being separated. Trev made a great point, I think, on the show today, is you usually put McDavid and Draisaitl together, get them going, and then sort of separate them from there. But this time they put them together, and it didn't get them going.
Yeah.
So now I wonder what the vibe is as they get separated. And Tube Socks this morning on the Nielsen Show made a great point as well. It's like, why did you have to put those two players together to get them going? You know, like McDavid and Draisaitl should not need each other to jumpstart the season, should they?
No, they should just watch themselves on Prime. That should be enough. It's a little bit puzzling. Usually when in years past, when they have been put together, it's been against bottom feeder type teams, right? Like San Jose, where those teams just can't handle those two together. But yeah, I would say this is the first time that they've been split apart, for the reason is it's not really working. And I don't think it's concerning at all. But the defensive play from Connor and Leon have to be a little bit better than what it was.
Yeah, they're not dialed in yet for that. Like the
That's
commitment to the defensive side of the
puck. I don't know what that is. Is that play, going to Game 7 and just trying to get the engine revved up to that point because they know what it takes once you're there. But it's of course it's not a switch too. You can't just turn that thing on. You have to slowly progress. It's a work in progress here, and those two have to. I mean, it's a veteran team, so you shouldn't have it. But you go as your leaders do, right? And I'm sure Connor and Leon go by. They wouldn't ask anyone else on the team to do something that they weren't willing to do. And if cheating on the opposite side of the puck happens on a regular basis, sometimes that filters throughout the whole lineup.
We will get to the lineup in just one moment. I do have this little parlay up over at Coolbet. If you want to get in on it, you go to coolbet.com. If you don't have an account just yet, sign up for an account. Just use the code LOCKSHOP when you do, and you'll get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. LockShop Poker Series event number 3 next Tuesday night. If you would like to join us for that. Thursday, about $30 to get in. We had about 80 entries last tournament, and I streamed poker for 4 straight hours on a Tuesday night, which I will be doing again next Tuesday.
Are you going to get a red tracksuit, though?
I should change the... Now, I did go white hat with sunglasses. I was looking pretty cool.
Know, yeah.
But yeah, something like maybe I'll go to like a
thrift store.
Thrift store, a costume store or something.
Oh,
Get something really... Actually, I did say that I'd be dressed up for that one for Halloween.
Ooh, Halloween.
But I don't want to spoil my Halloween costume that I'm going to be wearing on the station the next 2 days later.
Are you a spirit of Halloween guy? Did you take the kids there? Do they?
The kids, well, the interesting thing is that Marshall always wants like kids costumes, but he's the size of a small adult. So what we did, we've got 2 costumes for Marshall this year. He's going as Captain America.
Nice.
So he's got like a kid's like 12 to 14. He's 9. And it's kind of tight. But I was like, you know what? You can wear this to school at least. It's got the little muscles up top. Yeah. It's a little tight on his bum. But I said, yeah, but in the movie, they say Captain America's got a great ass.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
It's America's ass.
That's America's ass. So it's just like, you know what? You can wear that. That's fine. And then for trick-or-treating, especially if it was like last night. Damn, it was cold last night. But I came back in here last night for a couple hours. And when I was going to my truck, it was like 8 o'clock. And I was like, I had a toucan.
Yeah.
I wore a toucan this morning. It's kind of chilly. So anyway, we've got like an adult large that Tammy took to the seamstress yesterday, and she's going to try to cut it down to his size so he can wear like his snow pants and stuff underneath.
Yeah,
so he's going as Captain America, and the Muzz is going as one of the characters off this show called The Odd Squad.
Okay.
And I don't watch The Odd Squad, so
I think I've seen it.
Anyway, it kind of dresses like a nerdy little girl, and anyway, she's very excited about it. But I used to, so this year I ordered my costume online, and I usually like last minute I'll go down. I've got like 4 or 5 other costumes in the basement. I'll just grab one from years past, put it on. But I've been wanting to do this one costume for a while, so I ordered it online early, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah?
Yeah, so next what's Halloween? Next Thursday?
Yeah.
Next Thursday on the show, I will be
okay.
I'll be ready to go.
Nice.
It should be good. Full costume. I think everybody will think it's kind of funny. I hope. Fingers.
Right.
And it's not a costume that you can get at Spirit of Halloween.
Oh,
I'll say that.
a self-made costume? Or
I managed to find like the main pieces for it together as a costume.
Oh, wow.
But you won't see it like locally here.
Yeah,
I flew it in from China.
holy smokes.
It's kind of a big deal. So we'll get to that. All right, let's get into the line combinations, and they're interesting. They are interesting line combinations. Darnell Nurse is gonna. I guess it's been confirmed by Knobloch that he's gonna take shifts on both sides. But everybody who was at practice today, listing him as essentially the right pairing D-man on the second pair with Dermott. So let's just start on the blue line. We're already there. Ekholm, Bouchard, boom. Maybe there's a conversation there if the rest of the blue line doesn't figure it out. Maybe you do split up Ekholm and Bouchard for a game or two to see what else you might have. I don't think it'll happen, but I don't know. What do you think of this Darnell Nurse on the right side, and why would Darnell Nurse take shifts on both left and right D tonight? Like, that means that Dermott will take some shifts on left and right D tonight. It seems bizarre to me.
Especially since I thought Darnell was playing better. You know, there's a little bit more physicality to his game. Like, he seems to be engaging physically. That's getting him, lack of a better term, more focused. Like, he seems like he's in it. And, you know, with Stetcher, I thought there was something kind of brewing there. And Stetcher is essentially just kind of holding a spot until probably they're looking for something else. But I thought he was very serviceable in that position. Dermott back in. That's kind of interesting. I do because who's coming out? It's Emberson's coming out.
Emberson's coming out. It's going to be Stetcher with Kulak, which I think could be a pretty steady. Like, I think you'd be okay with Stetcher and Kulak as your third pair.
When everything ends, I think you'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if they did find someone else.
If there was somebody else to play with Nurse.
I think that's what, like, because Kulak becomes that fifth defenseman that can go up at certain points, I think, and move down to a 4 and 3. But maybe that's what they want to do is because, I like that pairing, that last pairing. You make an interesting point, though, Dusty, because really, when you look at the 1 and 2s with Ekholm and Bouchard, they haven't been really lighting the world on fire themselves. You know, maybe there's opens up an opportunity to see one of those guys move to a different spot and see if something works a little bit better there. Because really, they haven't looked like they did. Well, no one's really looked like they did at the end of last year. It's kind of tough to compare, but I'm surprised if they're that willing to move Nurse around and stuff. I thought they would adjust that top pairing as well.
Well, let's get to some of your questions. Of course, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. The text messages we'll get into those. AB Poker Inc. says, "Can Nurse even starfish on the right side?"
Oh no!
If Bones is in and says if Knobloch goes to character, the right D Nurse experiment will last 36 minutes, and then it'll be flipped back over. So yeah, there's that as well. We'll get to that text. Hang on, I'll get to that one. There's a couple more on Nurse here. Red Rose 790 says Nurse 3 points tonight. Brett B says, does Nurse play with Ekholm at some point tonight? And Statue Boss Production says maybe Nurse is the top 4 right D man that they've always been wanting. And they're like, we got one, and now we need a left side top 4 D man, and maybe that's Travis Dermott. So,
you know, there's some defensemen that do say they like playing their offside on defense anyway, because it, you know, if you're left on the right side, you're protecting more of the middle, right? So sometimes they like it, but it's just that cross across your body to make a pass on the forehand side, especially coming out of your zone. I don't know if there's a guy on the Oilers defense that has a backhand that can move the puck with efficiency enough to be playing his off wing in his own zone.
Well, that's something to look for, I guess. 780-218-9999. This is an interesting one, and we'll transition to forwards here as well. Bronco Nick just texts us, goes, "Hey, Dusty, I just put a 30-player over 1.5 shot per player parlay for 15 games tonight. I picked one player per team, and I left out the Sharks and Ducks game. It pays plus 19,769. Oh, baby.
Oh, wow.
All right, so good luck. Good luck, man. Everybody's excited. 16 games tonight.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, do they do this again later in the season, or is it just this week? I feel like they do it a couple of times.
They should. This should be, I mean, I think everyone should play Saturday night regardless. Like, I think it should always happen. Why couldn't that happen again on another day of the week, either, you know, Wednesday or Thursday? Just have now with Prime taking over Mondays. I think there's no. Of course, that's probably one of the reasons everyone's playing tonight. But yeah, I love a couple days where everyone is playing. That's lots to watch. And then when you get to the end of the season, when everyone's playing on one night, you have the scoreboard watching for playoff positioning, if you know records. Hopefully, Ovi scores like 5 tonight or something like that. So we start watching that race a little bit more. But I think it just provides way more excitement in the season.
I think so too. It's neat. I like it tonight. So a lot of people are having fun. There was a good buzz on Lock Shop today with the 15-game parlay I laid out. We'll see. It pays $5, pays $45,000. So if I'll tell you, if it comes down to like the last game tonight, I think the last one, I'm on Vegas over the Kings. The Kings are on the 7th game of a 7-game road trip, I think, to open the season. So. Anyway, this text comes in from a 250 number from 00. It says, guys, advertising works. I was in town from BC, and I had to get some road trip snacks for the way home. Back to the Okanagan tomorrow. He has a 12-pack of donuts from the Italian Center and one mild and one hot panino.
Nice.
Yeah, and then some pepperoni. Look at that. That's a trip. Oh, that's a drive. That's a drive home. That's a drive back to BC, man.
The fact that I've never done that myself and just, you know, gone to the silly gas station and for some spits and stuff.
I know. Instead of like going here.
Why wouldn't I do that?
It does make a lot of sense. He's even got the nice little pack of the Venetian pepperoni as well. So
those hot subs, man. Every day, when I go home, passing the Italian Center, I almost put a club on my car so I don't turn right into that thing to go get one of those.
Nowadays, you should get a Tesla that won't allow you to go there.
Yeah.
Like, can you not block it out?
Yeah, it just blocks.
It won't let you turn in.
Oh my God.
It won't let you turn in.
I just need tinting on my right side.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's pretty funny, actually. I like that.
But that sandwich is so good.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
And I put it in the microwave for a little bit. And it's huge too.
I gotta bring in my little panino press.
You gotta press too.
Oh yeah.
We need a bigger kitchen. Yukon Jack was by today. He goes, you guys need more space. It was good seeing Yuk.
Yeah.
How long did he stick around for?
An hour?
Oh, geez.
It was great.
Yeah, it was good seeing him. But I
got an invite to the boat next year.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I've never really asked, so I asked.
I think I'd be invited too, but I've never asked either.
Yeah. He's picking me up at the dog park.
Oh, well, that's easy enough.
I'm going to wade in. And
he's a man on the river, eh? Meet you wherever.
He's a man.
Anyway, he was saying, you guys need more space. And I said, I think I might talk to if the tattoo people ever leave.
Yeah.
I know I've been in that office. It's not huge. It probably wouldn't cost a lot.
Yeah.
And then we turned that into like the fun zone or something.
The fun zone.
Yeah.
All right.
And when you're in here, you're working.
Yeah.
When you're over there, it's the fun zone.
I like
Which
that.
should be HR Daddy right now is listening, being like, don't know if that's a great idea.
I like referring to the boardroom as the bullpen, though.
The bullpen. That's a nice. Maybe I was going to get some signs made for the different.
I was
offices.
thinking about that
and
too.
And the bullpen. That could be a good one. That's what the boys talk. Yeah. Sonny D, look at this sick puppy. He goes, guys, did that guy send in the shot parlay? He wants to hop. He wants to hop on. He wants to hop on the 32 shot parlay tonight and see how it goes.
That sounds like fun, though. That would be a fun.
It's a fun thing to do one night. Right? Look at Savage last night. Hit that 13 gamer and he was losing his mind. $3,500.
Why do you think?
Stay cool, bet responsibly.
Yeah. Why do you think the NFL is so successul with betting? It's because they're all on, and you can do those.
It's one day.
Stupid parlays.
Yes, but you're right. Like we were. I was texting with a couple of buddies last night, and was it last night? No, it was the Jets game, and we're like, the NFL product is not as good as the experience.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
a lot. Like every week, you'll get 2 or 3 awesome games. You'll get 4 or 5 duds, and then you get some games that are just okay. You really wouldn't want, but you're betting on them and you're parlaying them, and you got fantasy going, and like the overall product of the National Football League is phenomenal. The actual games themselves, a lot of them are just absolute stinkers.
Yeah,
and it'll be the same thing tonight for the National Hockey League. Like there's 16 games tonight. There will probably be 4 or 5 blowouts that you can turn off after midway through the second period. But there will probably be 4 or 5 games that'll go to overtime tonight. And those are the ones everybody will be talking about. And those are the games that we will remember from tonight.
Well, that, who was it? Islanders, Montreal went to like 8th round of the shootout, right? That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Those ones are good. All right, let's look at the Oilers forward groups here. McDavid between Hyman and Nuge. Skinner between Draisaitl and Arvidsson. Derek Ryan between Janmark and Brown. Henrique with Perry and Podkolzin. Which of those two lines plays more?
So it's Henrique, Podkolzin,
and
Perry, and then
Ryan, Janmark, and Brown. Who do you think would play more tonight?
I would think the Henrique one.
Me too. Perry's been better than expected.
Yeah. And Podkolzin gets around pretty good. He's thrown some good hits, right? It would be good for him to get one, just to get a goal, feel better about himself. If at the end of the night, I would say that they've played more than the other one.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. Skinner, Draisaitl, Arvidsson, we were intrigued by them heading into the season.
Wasn't a lot there in exhibition.
No. But it's such a small glimpse before they broke them up earlier in their year.
Well,
you think Skinner's been the best of those 3 guys so far this season?
Easily. Although Arvidsson hasn't scored, I thought he's been around it, right? Like he's been almost there. Leon's still in second gear, I would say, and he has to be a little bit better. Like he seems like the Leon of a few years ago, where he doesn't move his feet. Right, once he starts moving his feet, he's a whale of a player.
Yeah, he does still look like he's in a bit of preseason mode. He really does.
He really does. And I think when he's skating and moving, he's one of the best passers in the league, especially on that backhand side. Playing with those two, they should complement Leon's game, both of them, right? You have the goal scorer, you have the buzzsaw, and Leon's just the bull moose. I would like to see them just establish maybe a little bit more of a forecheck, get some turnovers in the offensive zone, and start using, Leon's good when he initiates contact with the puck and kind of does that spin around, bringing a couple players to him, getting it to the net. I think when we spoke in the summer, Dusty, about line combinations multiple times, that was the one that I think when we put it together, we were intrigued about the most.
Yeah.
Like we thought, wow, if all those 3 guys playing at the top of their game, that would be a handful for any defensive player.
Do you think he leaves them together? Like
no,
but then it's kind of frustrating. Like, why is it that? And I need to start. I don't have time, but I'd love to. I'd love to listen or follow closer on the Leafs lines and Vancouver's lines and see. Like, I know Winnipeg, they've started the season extremely well. They have their first line, they have their second line, they've got one of the best third lines in the league, and they just sort of let them run.
Yep.
I'm curious if the coaches here, and it goes from Tippett to McClellan to Woody to. Remember when Woodcroft first came in and there was the Derek Ryan comment of like, he's giving guys roles and we're playing a different, he's not just relying on those guys. And now, but 6 games into the year, Knobloch's just basically got the old blender back out that the other coaches left behind in the room. And why is that a thing here? Is it because of McDavid and Draisaitl? And they're so supernova that you just think every line should click every game, no matter who's with those guys. And if it doesn't, you need to give them a different look. It seems crazy to me how often they mix things up.
We need I don't know why everyone falls back on that so quickly. And I mean, every coach when Woodcroft came, he seemed to go away from it, but then it creeped back in, and he went to them all the time. Knobloch's come in and kept them apart for a long period of time and used them together in those special situations, like after a power play or a PK, he throws them back out to get them back out there. But now, I mean, at least he's splitting them up tonight, but if he come into the first period down 2-0, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the second period with them together again, because from the start of the year, since they've been apart, Dusty, they haven't looked good.
No.
They haven't looked good at all on their own lines, and that's probably why they got together, hoping that they just got possibly a little bit more confident out there. It's hard. It's weird to say that you would like Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl to play with more confidence, but I think it involves every player when you feel better about yourself, and maybe that's one of the reasons why Connor said he wanted to play almost every exhibition game, because he just didn't feel right. And trying to get himself into it. But no, I mean, obviously I'm not a coach, and I always guess if I was coach of the Oilers and they weren't playing well, would I just put them together? I probably would.
But then if that's the thing, they put them together. The team won 2 of 3 and looked pretty good in the other third one, and you're breaking them up again. So maybe Knobloch does think mission accomplished. The team's been playing better for 3 games. Split them back up. Maybe that's the reasoning behind it.
You don't want things to get stale as a coach, but I mean, if Knoblauch's in the bakery, he's baking. There's a lot of bread in there, because he just keeps mixing these guys up. And from the time I played, Dusty, players hated that. Constantly in different places, not knowing, like that anxiety you would get coming into the room, looking at the board, and the new lines are up, and you're just like, oh man, really? Like, and I mean, I wasn't there.
You're sitting there with the other guys starting?
No, I had my gear on. I was already out there taking shots
when everybody else was rolling in.
Yeah. So, no, that was a little bit stressful, for guys not knowing each day what was going to happen. But I would. That's why you went out and got these guys, for their experience, to be able to work themselves out of things. I just felt that these lines I thought they would stay quite similar to how they started the season up to this point. Mm-hmm. If things weren't going, I mean, they won 2, lost 1. I thought maybe around this time you'd see some tinkering, but not full scale, Vitamix blender here so far.
Brett B over in the Nasty Chat. And if you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We're going to give away some Oilers Canes tickets here right away. But if you are watching on YouTube, smash the thumbs up for us. That would be great. Appreciate it. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. Brett B says, guys, the nuclear option really isn't the nuclear option if you push the button once every 3 games. Right? Yeah. Especially when it doesn't go nuclear. Then it's just like a BB gun option. And then you break it up again and go away from it.
Yeah,
so.
No, it's not. It's not putting the fear of God into teams either, I don't think, right? Like, they seem to be handling it just fine, along with the power play.
Jason is in and says, guys, can these guys just blow some team out already so I don't have to yell at the TV? It's like, yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of you. Troll is in. I love this guy. His text handle's just Troll. On the topic of defense, you guys think that Ekholm's slow start is actually him regressing due to age and not a slow start?
No. I mean, I know he was injured last year to start the year, but you saw how much better he got. I think there's still a lot of mileage left on Ekholm. When you get to you watch his game, he hasn't been the fastest guy here but his recognition of situations on the ice where maybe he's even beat by a guy, he'll recognize where the puck's probably going to be and can recover and make up for it, right? Like, he's just such a smart defenseman. One of the reasons why Bouchard's had a lot of success is because of the defensive prowess of Matthias Ekholm. I think start of the season, I think he's going to fall into that same type of top defenseman in the league very shortly here, because even last year, I know he was injured, but it took him a while to get up to speed.
This text is in, and thank you for the text message. If you would like to chime in and ask a question or share a thought, 780-218-9999. We haven't got to this just yet. A lot of talk about it on the station the last few days, but not yet on today's Two Guys and a Goalie. Guys, is it too early to be worried about PP1 or at least give PP2 some more time now?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm
17 shots on 15 power plays.
It's not enough, man. And it's so hard to discuss the power play because obviously being a goalie, I was never on a power play, but I do know what sucks being a goalie against a good power play. And the best ones are the guys that establish shots, second chance opportunities. But you know what I think they're doing a little bit too much, Dusty, is trying to force feed Leon every single time. And everyone knows that. You watch the goalies, and they are shoulder checking their left shoulder constantly just to know where Leon is, right? Because they know eventually they want to get it over there. And they're cheating big time to get over there. I think they have to establish another weapon, whether that's Bouchard,
good point,
letting it go from the top, or maybe it's Connor shooting from the bottom of the circle there, like consistently. So, because the beauty of the power play and a lot of the success, and I would love to see numbers of takeaways in the offensive zone by the Edmonton Oilers on the PP, like their puck retrieval, the way they can strip guys after, and this is usually after they funnel pucks to the net, whether it's after a shot, the other team gets it, they don't get it out, Edmonton turns it over and quickly attacks. And it's maybe 1-2 passes, kind of that small area zone like play that they're so good at. Then they get it over to Leon because it becomes a mad scramble. They have to introduce some sort of chaos on the other team. PKs are too good now, and they've had a whole year of footage to be able to watch this Edmonton Oilers power play and try to implement something that causes it issues. They just have to get back to the tried and true simple form, getting pucks to the net and trying to go for second chance opportunities. Because, I mean, you're playing against Freddie Anderson tonight, who's still a really good goaltender. You have to kind of look at it as he's probably going to stop the first shot. In most cases, he's probably going to stop it. So
right.
What are you going to do? It's probably going to be a second shot. It doesn't always you don't have to get to the point where you're passing it back into the net. Get some ugly ones. Get the Woodcroft said when he took over the team, we have to start scoring the goals that are scored in middle of April and May and June, and not the ones that you score in October and November. And those are 3 to 8 foot goals around the crease.
All right, we do have Oilers tickets to give away. It is Two Guys and a Goalie. We are presented to you by GS Construction. GS is hiring right now. Become a part of their great team today by visiting gsconstruction.ca or their page on indeed.ca. For the past 50 years, the foundation of GS Construction has been built on efficiency, quality, and safety. Take your career to the next level. Join the team at GS Construction today. Waddy in Cloverdale texts in today and says, guys, I need one more guy for an off-the-schneid goal parlay. I've got Hyman and Marchessault so far.
Ooh.
Any other suggestions? Man, I don't have a list of guys who haven't scored just yet, but people listening right now might. So if you are listening.
Is he looking for Oilers?
Well,
guys?
no, because on Coolbet, you wouldn't be able to get both Oilers on the same ticket.
I would go with the greatest goal scorer ever to play tonight. Though I don't think it's scored yet.
Alexander Ovechkin? He has one.
Oh, he's have one?
He has one. Yeah,
it
wouldn't technically be an off the schneid.
Shoot.
But you could throw OV in there. I'd have to look at guys who haven't scored yet. Now, with that being said, Marchessault did score. He scored. He scored against the Oilers.
Yeah.
So this isn't really an off the schneid parlay.
No.
Come on, Waddy and Cloverdale.
Yeah, Cloverdale is probably underwater, so he's.
Bones is asking, guys, would a right shot in place of Nuge give the PP a one-timer option from the left side? So then your really only option there would be Arvidsson, I guess.
It was dangerous when he was with the Kings, man. That's where I was thinking of the second PP.
Who does he think he is? Mark Letestu?
You hope.
Remember Letestu burying 20?
He was a slot machine. That was unreal.
Unbelievable. He was just firing from over there like he was bloody Alexander Ovechkin.
I liked how he gave it to Mario Lemieux when he scored too. Just a little. Another day.
He was good. Okay, I got some trivia for these Oilers tickets. Oilers and Canes tonight. I have them on my email, so I will e-transfer them to our winner. And let's just go first person to get this correct. So a real contest today. A real contest for these tickets. Who do I think I am? Reed Wilkins and Glue Guy with the mystery player? But yeah, we do have tickets. Oilers and Canes tonight. Huge thanks to Shanzi. Max Lawn Service hooking us up with these tickets. I will I'll transfer them to you via email to our winner. Here are your clues. This player, and it is an Edmonton Oiler. Okay. Not current.
Okay.
Former Edmonton Oiler.
It's not me, is it?
It's a retired player too. There's another clue.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And wouldn't it be hilarious if the clues were you? Got a penalty for an illegal stick in his first game.
I know.
How do you not remember this?
It wasn't my first game.
It wasn't your first game? Oh, it was your first win.
First win.
How many losses did you have before you won?
We don't have to get
Okay, we don't have to get into that. All right, this guy was drafted by a Canadian team. Not the Oilers, though. I'll say that. Another bonus clue. All right, you're going to want to text the guest to, it's kind of tough, I think. Text the guest to 780-218-9999. Okay, you have to be on the text. So even if you're watching on YouTube today, in order to make it happen, 780-218-9999. People are already guessing. McSorley, Strudwick. Yeah, let me give you another clue. Drafted by a Canadian team, not the Oilers. Had one 10-goal season with the Oilers.
Okay.
Doesn't help too much, does it? That's it. Those are the only clues.
Okay.
Just kidding. Drafted by a Canadian team, had a 10-goal season with the Oilers. This should start. Get ready. Get your fingers ready here. This should start to help you a little bit. Was traded to Edmonton with another player in exchange for a Finn going the other way.
I think I know who it is.
Final clue. This will probably give it away. Let me reset the three clues. Get your guesses in right now. 780-218-9999. First person to guess correctly will win tickets to the game tonight. I think they're, where are they? Row 3, section 224. So that's nice.
That's good.
Right at the bottom of that lower bowl. That's good. I haven't seen the correct answer yet. Three clues once again. Drafted by a Canadian team. Had a 10-goal season once with the Edmonton Oilers. Let me just confirm that. Sometimes I could get these wrong. He had one 10-goal season with the Edmonton Oilers. Would play for 3 other NHL teams after leaving Edmonton. One of them Canadian, and spent some time overseas. And was traded to Edmonton with another player in exchange for a Finn who'd played for the Oilers. 780-218-9999. Am I seeing a correct answer in here just yet? Not yet. Okay, I'll give you the final clue. This will come quick. This will come quick now, I think. I hope. He played his junior hockey at a place that Gager refers to as the Factory.
Oh.
4 years at the Factory. Just after you, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know now?
Yeah, I think so.
Bonus clue. Never played in the city that drafted him. That should help a little bit on who was drafted. All right, 780-218-9999. Lots of guesses. You'll bear. Oh, there it is. Boom. First one I saw. Garrett from Edmonton. Congratulations. Brad Isbister.
Yeah.
Brad Isbister. Isbister and Rafi Torres, for my former line mate of the world's longest hockey game, Yanni Niinema. All right, congratulations. Garrett, if you're still listening, you probably are. Garrett, send me your email. All right? You know what? I'll just reply to Garrett here right away.
Brad Isbister was an awesome dude. He was great, man. boatload of skill too. Where did he go? He went to Montreal.
So he was drafted by Winnipeg.
Okay.
And then they moved to Phoenix.
Okay.
So he played 2 years with the Coyotes, then went to the Islanders for Robert Reichel and a couple of picks. Played 4 years with the Islanders. Came here with Rafi Torres in exchange for a second-round pick and Yanni Niinimaa.
Mm-hmm.
And then was in Austria during the lockout. Then went to Boston. Then a year split between the American Hockey League and the Rangers. Then wrapped up his NHL career with the Canucks in 07-08. And then played a year in, Zug?
Yeah, in the Swiss League.
Yeah, in the Swiss League. And then that was, he must have played Spengler when he was over.
Oh, of course.
He would have played Spengler
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure he would have.
All right, so congratulations to Garrett.
Good job, Garrett.
Garrett, I will send you the tickets via email. All right, you'll have to do like the old Ticketmaster transfer thing. But I will, I'll send those out to you. This one's in Troll, the Troll says Isbister was great in junior.
Oh, he was a man child. Huge man.
Ended up being a third-round pick. I thought he was drafted a little bit higher for some reason. I don't know why.
He was one of those guys, if you were to, most NHL guys are like this, but, third, fourth line kind of player. But he, if you would have seen him in practice, you would go, how is this guy not playing first line minutes and scoring 50 goals? Because he was huge, skate like the wind, and had a sledgehammer for a shot.
Yeah.
Just when it came to game time, it wasn't practice.
Could have also said Edmonton born.
Oh.
So here's that team that he played on. His best year in Portland, 89 points in 71 games. Todd Robinson led that team in scoring. Then it was Isbister, Richard Zednik, Colin Forbes, Dave Scatchard, Andrew Ferentz was on that team. Brendan Morrow was on that team as well. Like that's the factory.
The factory, man.
Like you said, the factory.
Wasn't Hossa on that team too?
No, I think Hossa came
after that.
I wonder if Hossa was on the team the next year.
I think it was probably the next year.
Let's see here. No, he must have been right after he left.
Okay.
Must have been right after he left.
Like that's a scary junior team.
That's a pretty good WHL team right there with like 7 NHLers on it. Not too bad.
Good ones. Zednik was crazy too. I remember when Zednik got there, I guess
into Portland.
Yeah, because he was Slovak, I believe.
He's Slovakian. Yeah.
So he had to go straight to the dentist because I guess like half his teeth were rotting, and he couldn't play. He needed 8 root canals.
When he was 17?
Yeah.
Gross.
Oh yeah. So he had a full bunch of new chiclets after that. But
I love Zednik as a Hab.
Yeah.
I loved him. They had the line with him, Koivu, and Kovalev, which I just absolutely loved.
He was in Washington first, right?
He was in Washington.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zednik was good. He 5 years with the Caps, 4 years with the Habs, then back to Washington, Islanders, and Panthers to wrap it up. But he was a solid. He's 30-goal scorer the 1 year with Montreal.
I remember his skating style too. He was his butt was an inch off the ice too.
Yeah, and he was just right down there. Little reckless.
Yeah.
A little reckless.
Yeah.
And then he got that was scary.
That
got
was
the
really
throat
scary.
slit, and that was scary. Anyway, congratulations to Garrett. I will transfer the tickets, and thanks to Shanzi, Max Lawn Service, for donating those tickets today, so we can hook somebody up with the game tonight. Garrett, enjoy the game between the Oilers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Gager, do we have a prediction for this game tonight? You said you're a little worried tonight.
But I don't want to disappoint the people of Edmonton, so I am going to say 4-2. Oilers win. No empty netter. Win it outright. 4-2.
Are they behind early and grinding this one out, or is this a full control dub tonight?
No, I think just because of last game, you're going to see a bunch of guys with their hair on fire this first 10 minutes. I think they can get to them early.
All right. Okay. So there you go. You heard it from Gager here first. A little bit worried, but still thinks the Oilers will get by the Carolina Hurricanes 4-2. EST afternoons coming up with, I guess that's kind of what I just did with Amos Hernandez Salas for an hour.
Yeah.
This is what it's like. It's where's there's Zach to go. I was gonna say where's Coob when you need him. What's coming up on your show? What do you got?
We got you know what? I have no idea. Oh, wait.
There it is.
There it is.
What do you got? What do you got on the show today?
Corey Lavalette from North State Journal, The Athletic. We've got the heat and smoke. That's what I forgot. We're people are going to have to vote. Who's got the bigger take? Hernan or myself.
Oh,
so he's the
okay.
heat, I'm the smoke.
I like this.
This is a new bit that we're
Perfect.
implementing into the show, and we'll have lots of Oilers talk around the league. Scott Burnside, I believe, too, is going to join us at 2:20 EST Flyway to LA, obviously, and to wrap it up before you get to Reed and Jay, we go. This day in sports history.
I know that's been a fun segment.
Yeah.
I like that segment. That's good. All right, so that's coming up. We got you covered right till puck drop. We got EST afternoons with Hernan and Gager coming up from 1 till 3. They have a chance to qualify for the EST Flyway to LA. Reed Wilkins show from 3 to 6. They'll have a chance to qualify for the EST Flyway to LA as well. And then the GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola, Matt Kassian, and Hernan Salas from 6 to 7 tonight. GCL Diesel postgame show to follow as well. Two Guys and a Goalie, as always, brought to you by our great partners over at GS Construction. If you are looking for work, they are hiring right now. If we can get enough nasties working over there, we'll take over the company.
I know.
That'd be a lot of fun. Check them out, gsconstruction.ca. Click on Ready
And we'll only work at night, so everyone gets to work on time.
That'd be real nice, too. For Gager, I'm Nielsen. I'll chat with you tomorrow morning, breaking down the Oilers and the Hurricanes. Stick around for EST Afternoons. You're going to like it. If you're on YouTube, just turn on autoplay. The conversation continues to get you ready for the Oilers. And Jesse Puljujärvi, two of Jesse Puljujärvi's former clubs, battling as he is at 5 points in 6 games in
They could
Pittsburgh.
both use them right now.
Woo! You said it, not me. Take it easy.